Hello guys, happy to see you today again. Today we want to look at quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is S is minus B plus or minus square root B square minus 4 is over 2A. Where this one come from? This one is coming from quadratic equation. The quadratic equation AS square plus BX plus C is equals to 0. So this is where we form this almighty formula. The student normally call it almighty formula. But now, let's see how this one becomes this. Now, A, B, C are numerical constants from this expression. So in other words, you have to transfer C to the other side, that is to the right hand side of the equation. So you now have AS squared plus BS equals to minus C. Now after that, this is the root. And that is why we call it quadratic, because quadratic equation is an equation that has the highest power of 2. So you make it to be 1. Because here now we have coefficient to be A, but you make it to be 1. So you now divide both sides by letter A. You divide both sides of the equation by letter A. So you now have S squared plus BX over A is equals to minus C over A. Now after that, you take half of the coefficient of X, then square it and add it to both sides of the equation. I repeat, take the square of the coefficient of X, square it and add it to both sides of the equation. How? You now have S squared plus, now look at what I was saying as an expression. You have B over A is the coefficient of X, then you take half of it, then you square it. That's what I was saying. Then you now add it to both sides of the equation. Don't forget, this is the center point of this message. So you now have B over 2A squared. Do you see that now? You now add this to this expression. You add this to this expression. So you now have BX over A plus B over 2A squared equals minus C over A plus B over 2A squared. Now, this is the left hand side of the equation. You factorize this, then you simplify this. So you now have X plus B over 2A squared equals minus C over A plus B squared over 4A squared. That means B times B, B squared. 2A times 2A. 2A times 2A will give you 4A squared from indices. So that is what we have. So after that now, the next thing to do here is to find the LCM of this right hand side of the equation. So what is the LCM of A and 4A squared? I think the LCM of 4A and 4A squared is 4A. So you draw your LCM line, 4A squared. So now, how many A can you find in 4A squared? That is 4A, meaning 4A squared over A. This one will cancel this, so you are left with 4A. So 4A times minus C, you have minus 4AC. Plus, then at the same time, how many 4A divided? That is 4A squared over 4A squared will give you 1. So 1 times B squared. B squared. That's what you have. So remember here, so you now have X plus B over 2A squared is equals to, this thing can also be written as B squared minus 4AC over 4A squared. This is minus. It has power. So you can transfer it. When you arrange it, it's the same thing. Here now, this is a plus B, but in order of convention, we remove it. That's all. So you now come, so since you have this, you now transfer the square root, or you take the square root of both sides, because you are looking for the unknown X. So you now have X plus B over 2A is equal to the square root B squared minus 4AC over 2A. That means the square root of 4A squared is this, so you have 2A. That's what you have done here. So after that, you now transfer this to this side because you want to make X the subject of the sentence. So now have S is equals to minus b over 2a plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, remember, in mathematics, you were told that when you have the same fraction or the same denominator, the answer is what? 1. Or let's assume that you have 5 over 2 plus 7 over 2. I think the answer here is 12 over 2. So the same thing here. Since we have 2a over 2a, so your final answer will now be s is equals to minus b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Good. Did you see that now? Very correct. So this and this now, they are the same thing. These and these, they are the same thing. So being proved. Very correct. So this is where this almighty formula or quadratic formula is brought about. So I still remain Shola Abiodun till I come your way again. Remain scientifically inclined.